Welcome back. It's so good to see you again and to be able to discuss some critical issues. There is a matter that is being asked of me, a question that is being posed to me quite regularly, and that is the new parliamentary secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And the question goes as follows: Frank, where is the public outcry? Frank, where is the Jewish community? Frank, where are the voices? Where are the voices? You may ask, why? Why do there need to be voices? Why does there have to be an outcry? Or why should anyone be concerned? Well, let's take a look at the individual for a moment. Omar Al-Gabri, the new parliamentary secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. His background: he was president of the Canadian Arab Federation. Yeah, you remember the Canadian Arab Federation. Yes, it supported terrorism and anti-Semitism, so much so that they were receiving grants from the federal government, and Minister Jason Kenney, cut them off. They went to court. They said he was incorrect. The courts ruled that absolutely were correct in withdrawing the money from the Canadian Arab Federation. Imagine we now have someone who served as the president of that organization as now advising the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Also, the Canadian Arab Federation claimed that neither Hamas nor Hezbollah should be listed as terrorist entities.
Well, Hamas movement is not a national organization, and it's not a humanitarian organization. Hamas is a terrorist organization with a humanitarian face to it.
The European Union has designated Hezbollah's military wing a terrorist organization, a move welcomed by both the US and Israel. Hezbollah, which is backed by the Syrian and Iranian governments, is the most dominant political party in Lebanon, thanks in part to its own non-state militia that's seen by many to be more powerful even than Lebanon's army.
Of Hezbollah. This is a political creation for expediency, in large part because the EU was 27, it's now 27 member states, and it works by consensus.
Because they weren't terrorist entities, according to the Canadian Arab Federation. Thankfully, they are listed, but we should now be very much on the alert whether they're going to be taken off the list. In 2004, when he was president of the Canadian Arab Federation, he actually attacked Canada's largest national news media chain because, according to him, they had the audacity to refer to Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade as a terrorist organization. And it is a terrorist organization. It conducted terrorist activities against Israel, against civilians. And right now there is even discussion at this moment in the Palestinian Authority whether to rearm them so that they can participate in the new wave of hostility against the state of Israel. In 2005, he criticized the chief of police for marching in the UJA Federation parade to salute Israel. Criticized the chief of police for walking in that parade. He also said that when Yasser Arafat, the real terrorist, and he was a terrorist, he was not a man of peace. Never mind that he got a Nobel Peace Prize, but that's worthless today. No, the reality, he was not a man of peace, and he always talked about his strategy of how he will take over all of Israel and create his own fiefdom. He said he would mourn him. He would mourn him as a great leader. And one last thing. The new advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs was actually saddened when the Ontario government under Dalton McGuinty refused to bring in Sharia law.
Many people are aware of the different Islamic groups in the world, from those marching across Africa and across Iraq and Syria, to those in Iran and Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Turkey, to those living in Europe and here in America. People wonder, where do these Islamic groups get their basic ideas? What are their goals? When they quote the Quran and Hadith and say they are following what Muhammad taught, is this true?
My friends, where are the voices? I know that Christians United for Israel Canada was in the forefront, issued the statements, but even the Jewish publications don't want to give attention to what is being said in that regard. We must now hold our breaths, but continue the fight. All the best. We'll see you again next week. Thank you for supporting the show.